got this job to make extra money for Christmas. Working at Roosevelt Field Mall. The shipping room. You know, all these boxes come in. Shirts, shoes, socks, jewelry, perfume. Tons of perfume, junk like that. So I carry stuff to the different departments. Work the ticket machine sometimes. That makes the prices for all the junk. Some of the girls from school got jobs here too. So we fool around. The two guys in the shipping room are career men. They tell me corny jokes and giving me advice on how to live my life. So the store manager walks in on Christmas Eve. She's about 10 feet tall. Looks and talks just like John Wayne used to. She's okay. So she walks in and she says, I don't know how this happened, but we don't have a Santa Claus. Christmas Eve, and the company hired him up there yesterday. Now there's a bunch of mothers and kids in an empty chair where Santa should be. Then she stands there, her head scraping the ceiling. One of the guys, old John, just keeps packing merchandise. The other guy, Joe, he just gives a nod of sympathy and a wink towards old John and a nod towards me. And I'm finally mastering the ticket machine. I got perfume prices with the right department code coming out at 100 miles per hour. Then she says, so what are we gonna do? Casual, one hand on her hip, out of her holster. Old John says, Peter would make a great Santa, as he keeps packing beautiful plaid arrow shirts. She looks me over. He's a little too skinny, she says. Not as skinny as Joe. And I'm no Santa, and you're a little too tall. Right, she says. And then they all turn and look at me. Oh, wait a minute. There's no way I'm gonna... Pillows, says Joe. We'll stuff them up with pillows. Have them upstairs in 5 minutes. There's a line building. Off she rides into the sunset. Next thing I know, nobody's listening to me. And I'm in this red suit with a white wig and a hat with a bell on the end of it. And old John and Joe are laughing their heads off and calling in ladies from the men's department, which is right outside the door. One of them, Miss Parnassus, she puts on my beard and says she hopes I don't get stuck in her chimney that night. They give me this big red bag filled with empty boxes to throw over my shoulder, push me out into the store. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to be responsible for wrecked illusions. I mean, mothers are probably going to sue the store. Well, it's not my fault they put me out here. I'll do what I can. And then I lumber up the stairs to my throne, which is on a landing between 2 floors. I sit down, mutter a couple of mild ho-ho-hos, wait for the worst. Let me tell you something. Everybody should be Santa Claus once in their life. I never saw belief like I did that day. I never took a break. Kids coming up the stairs to me, down the stairs to me. Fingers in their mouths, fingers in their nose. Sitting in my lap. Eyes wider than anything you ever saw. Hardly able to speak. Not one of them touched my beard. A lot of the kids brought something for Rudolph, and I said he'd share it with some of the other reindeer. I mean, I really felt like I'd come down from the North Pole and had a lot of traveling to do that night, as to not let down any of my heavy believers. I didn't even touch my beard. So it was great. Oh yeah. There was one thing that brought me back to reality. See, I'd been sitting there for a long time, over 3 hours. I and through continuing raps and negotiations with kids who knew what they wanted when they could finally speak. So what I hadn't realized was that my Santa tummy pillows had risen into my chest, so that when I got up to go back to the store, I got about 2 steps when my Santa pants were around my ankles. There's Santa Claus in his underwear and skinny legs in the middle of Roosevelt Field Mall during last-minute Christmas shopping. Talk about wrecked illusions. So I reach down and grab my pants and fallen pillows, grab my bag filled with empty boxes, and I make a break for the shipping room. I couldn't help it that my big red bag filled with empty boxes kept hitting customers as I made tracks. So if you hear about a legendary Santa Claus strip, relax. It was only me.